the robber who loved dogs. The evening sun melted behind the hills, painting the small town of Glenbrook in colors of gold and quiet. The air smelled of warm bread and rain from the morning. Near the corner bakery, a man crouched down with a basket of crumbs and called gently, "Come here, buddy." This is the story of how a kind thief named Leo Reed learned that love and loyalty can change even the darkest heart. Leo Reed was a man people rarely noticed. He wore simple clothes, smiled politely, and always held the door open for others. Every morning, he worked at the post office, sorting letters with slow, careful hands. And every evening, he bought bread, not only for himself but also for the stray dogs that lived behind the bakery. Among them was Buddy, a brown dog with bright eyes and a torn ear. Buddy trusted no one but Leo. The two were often seen together at dusk, the man tossing crumbs, the dog wagging gratefully. But Leo had a secret so large it lived like a second shadow. At night, he became someone else, the silver robber. Dressed all in black with a silver mask that covered half his face, he robbed the rich. Yet he never hurt anyone. He stole from people who cheated others, from corrupt businessmen who kicked stray dogs away. And after each robbery, he left a silver coin at the scene, his quiet signature. The town whispered about him, half afraid, half admiring. Leo's double life was calm, precise, like a clock that never missed a beat, until one night everything changed. It was a Thursday evening, and the rain had stopped. Leo knelt beside Buddy, feeding him small pieces of the bakery's leftover bread. The air smelled of yeast and wet pavement. Then, suddenly, sirens. Police sirens, loud and near. Red lights flashed on the stone walls. The cars stopped right in front of Leo's house. He froze. His heart thudded like thunder under his shirt. "Open the door, Mr. Reed," shouted the police chief. Leo's breath caught in his throat, but before he could move, Buddy barked wildly and then ran toward the back door. Something strange was happening. The police searched the house for an hour. They opened drawers, tapped walls, checked under rugs. Leo stood silent, polite, pretending to be confused. Eventually, they left, finding nothing. When the street grew quiet again, Leo noticed something under his front door, a folded piece of paper. His fingers trembled as he read it. "I know who you are. Meet me by the old bridge." No name, just that. Leo stared at the note. Was it a trap, a demand, a chance at freedom? Then he heard a sound outside, a low bark. He opened the door. Buddy was gone, his muddy footprints leading toward the forest path. That was enough. Leo put on his black jacket, took his silver mask, and followed the trail into the dark. The old stone bridge sat alone above a narrow river. The moonlight turned the water silver. Standing by the railing was a shadow, a person, and beside that figure was Buddy, wagging his tail. Leo stepped forward. "Who are you?" The person turned. A young woman with bright eyes and muddy shoes stepped into the light. "I'm Lara," she said simply. "A reporter." In her hands, she held a small notebook. "I know you're the silver robber," she said. "I've followed you for weeks. You only steal from men who hurt animals, and you feed every stray dog in town. Why?" Leo hesitated. "Because I used to be like them," he said. "I worked for a man who starved his guard dogs. When one of them died, I couldn't stand it. I took his money and left. Since then, I take from people like him." Lara listened quietly. Her eyes softened. "If you stop stealing," she said, "I can help you start again. I can tell your story, the truth. People will understand." But before Leo could answer, something glittered between the trees. Flashlights, shouts. Police officers were nearby, calling for the silver robber. Buddy growled low. Lara's eyes widened. "Run, Leo." Leo looked at her, then at Buddy. For the first time, he didn't want to run anymore, but staying would mean capture. He turned toward the forest. Buddy followed. Lara came after them, breathing hard. The woods were a maze of shadows and rain-soaked leaves. Sirens echoed behind them. Branches snapped under their feet. "This way," shouted Lara, pointing ahead. She led them to an old wooden shed hidden by tall grass. They slipped inside and crouched behind dusty boxes. Outside, the footsteps grew louder. Dogs barked. Police dog voices, deep, strong, close. Leo pressed his back to the wall. His heart raced like a drum. "Maybe this is the last time," he whispered. "Maybe I'm done running." A voice came from a radio outside. "We found the silver mask near the river. He's close." Leo's stomach dropped. He had lost the mask, his last disguise. Now they knew exactly who he was. Buddy lifted his head. His ears twitched. Then he walked slowly toward the door. Leo tried to pull him back, but the dog's eyes were calm, brave. In the next moment, Buddy slipped outside into the moonlight. The barking of police dogs filled the air, then rose higher, then suddenly scattered, fatting away toward the river. Minutes passed. Lara peered through the gap in the boards, her face lit up with surprise. "They're leaving," she whispered. "They think you ran across the river. Buddy tricked them." Leo's eyes burned. "He saved us." When dawn came, the town's bells rang softly in the distance. From the shed roof, sunlight sparkled on wet grass. Leo stood beside Lara at the edge of the forest. He opened a small bag filled with stolen money, the last of it. The coins shone like captured moonlight. "Take it," he said. "Give it to a place that feeds dogs." Lara nodded, speechless. "I can't keep stealing," he said. "Not after this, not after him." He looked toward the river. Buddy appeared from the fog, wet and wagging its tail. Leo thanked Buddy and brought out a silver collar from his pocket and put it around Buddy's neck. Months passed. The police never found Leo Reed. The newspapers stopped talking about the silver robber. But every evening near the bakery, 3 happy dogs gathered outside for food. The man who fed them smiled quietly, his hair now marked with a few lines of silver. If you looked carefully, you could see the glint of a silver collar shining in the sunset, and you might wonder whether the robber still walked among them, or whether he had finally become the man he was always meant to be. Let's learn some vocabulary from this story. Wagged. Meaning, moving quickly from side to side with happiness. Example, Buddy wagged his tail wildly when Leo appeared with bread. Crouched. Meaning, bent down low, keeping the body close to the ground. Example, Lara crouched behind the dusty boxes while the police passed the shed. Trembled. Meaning, shook slightly because of fear or strong emotion. Example, Leo's hands trembled as he held the mysterious note under the door. Glint. Meaning, a small, quick flash of light. Example, a small silver coin left on the table gave a faint glint in the moonlight. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel, English Storyverse, and turn on notifications for more crime English stories that will help you learn English better.